Hey, how's it going? It's Ollie here. So in today's episode of Niche Spotlight, we're going to be analysing the niche kids bike gloves to see if you should sell it on Amazon or skip it. Kids bike gloves, what are they? They're little bike gloves for kids. And to be honest, this is an interesting niche and I chose it for a reason. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the Smash Hit product radar. Okay, we're going to look at this niche and we're going to decide whether you should sell it or not. And I think you're going to come up with some quite interesting realizations by the end of this video. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at the demand first of all. So the first product we see at the top of AMZ Scout is goalkeeper gloves. So actually I'm not going to count those, okay? But the rest of them are bike gloves, okay? We've got one seller making $2,900 a month, one seller making $1,800, one seller making $1,300, one seller making $1,200, etc., 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 etc. So we're looking for at least 3 sellers making £3,000 a month in sales, right? And there isn't even one. There's one seller who's almost doing 3K a month, right? So straight away, we need to look and ask ourselves, is this high demand? In fact, the answer is no, it's not. There isn't 3K sellers. Alright, so now in a lot of cases you might actually write off this niche and be like, well, I'm definitely not going to sell that product then. However, here's the thing, like, it's okay to have a few products on your account that have slightly lower demand. Because let's say you launch this product and you got it somewhere within the top 5, which is usually what you want to be aiming to do. You could feasibly make £1,800 a month in sales. Or let's say you did £1,500 a month in sales. Let's say you did, I don't know, a 20% profit margin. This product could still make you £300 a month in profit. Now, all you have to do is launch 10 products like that and you can make 3K a month in profit. Right? Now all that has to happen is one of those products has to do really well, which is often what happens with an Amazon business. One of them will become your hero product, and that product could do 2-3K a month. Right, so instead of that one doing £300 a month, it adds an extra 2K to your business, which happens with products. Sometimes they'll just crash. And before you know it, you've got £4,700 a month coming in. Now this is worst case scenario. Right, we've picked a niche which is really bad demand. Well, it's not high demand for sure. It's medium to low demand. We've launched products and they haven't outperformed the other sellers. Like, I've launched products in niches like this before that have come in and started to do 10K a month just because the niche wasn't being served very well. So I'm saying you haven't done that and the product's kind of done all right. And if you just keep doing that, keep reinvesting the profits back into the business, you can still build a business with products that don't have really high demand. In fact, if you look at a lot of Amazon businesses out there, a lot of their products just do 2-3 sales a day. But they have so many lines that the business starts to grow. So I wanted to discuss products like this in this video to show you really that there are other ways to grow the business. And even if your product doesn't do that well, it's not necessarily a big problem because £300 a month profit, I mean, it's still profit, right? So the demand is low. What about the competition? So how many established sellers are there? So we want 5 or less. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so there's considerable amount of competition in this niche. So it's not a low competition niche. Are there any brands competing? Well, there's a Disney product competing, right? So if they look to buy your product, and they want to buy a product for their kids, if the kid likes Spider-Man, they're probably going to buy the Spider-Man gloves. However, these gloves are really not selling very well. So there's a chance they won't. Maybe because they're fingerless, maybe because people don't like the design, who knows. Other than that, though, there's no brands. So are there brands? Yes, but the one you're competing with isn't really very competitive. It's interesting. There's only 86 reviews on their listing as well. So, yeah, there are brands, but not really a major deal. What about hassle? Is this a low hassle product? Well, we could definitely make this ourselves, right? It's a bit of material stitched together. Again, I'm not actually going to do that because I don't want to be sitting here making 1,000 pairs of gloves, and I don't know how. But I understand how to make a glove. Right? It's not like something really complicated, like a laptop. I have no idea how to make a laptop. Wouldn't even know where to start. My glove, we could do that. It's easy to assemble. Is it a low hassle category? Well, what category are we looking at for this niche? Let's have a look. This is listed within sports and outdoors. So, yes, it's a low hassle category. Is it seasonal? Well, probably not going to buy these in the summer. So yeah, it probably is seasonal. Hang on. It is not seasonal. So we're going to X that one off. What about dimensions? Well, 60 grams, pretty light, and it's 20 centimeters. For the package, the longest side of the package is 20 centimeters. So definitely small, definitely light. So the dimensions are good. What about gap in the marketplace? Are there any gaps here? Well, let's look at the bestseller. So this one, right, that is actually a cycling glove, not a Gold Cooper glove. Let's open it and just check out the listing. See if there's any issues here. It's actually very well reviewed. People do like the product. But let's see, there's always going to be something customers wish that could be improved about it. They don't like about it. Here we are. Okay, a lot of German reviews here, which is interesting. See if we can translate some. Broken. Not warm at all, says this person. Disappointed. Don't keep what they promise. Not waterproof. Not warm. Hands stay cold. Don't keep warm. Not waterproof. Okay, so potentially you could make the gloves waterproof and you could make them warmer. Right, so there are some issues with the products in the market. Okay. What about bundles? Are there any bundles? I can't see any. It looks to me like they're just offering the gloves. So if you could think of something to complement this pair of gloves and offer that to the marketplace, then you could definitely make your product stand out, because everybody's just offering gloves. If you could offer gloves plus an extra thing, maybe a high visibility vest or something for a kid, or so, something else to complement this product, all of a sudden you have separated yourself from the competition and you offered something way more valuable to the marketplace. So there are no bundles, which means that it could be relatively easy to fill a gap in this marketplace and get a share of the revenue. So looking at this niche overall, what score am I going to give it? Well, high demand is not high demand at all. It's low demand or medium demand. There's one seller doing almost 3k a month, which means you could potentially do 3k a month. Maybe you could do more. I've done that before. One of my first products, I didn't really understand the concept of demand very much, and I think there was a very basic version of Jungle Scout back then, but there wasn't many tools to use to actually analyze the market. So when I launched the product, it looked similar to this niche. And then because I added so much more value and I bundled and I had really nice packaging and I positioned the product as a gift set, I started to do 10k a month in the niche. So, you can do things like that. Just because there's not much visible demand right now, you could outperform the competitors. It's just I wouldn't rely on that as a strategy. I would assume you're going to be making similar to these guys if you launch a really good product. So out of 20 for high demand, I'm going to have to give it a 5. Not going to be saying this has high demand. However, there still are opportunities in this niches. Let's say you could get 100 units of a bike glove really cheap or something, and they were really good. Don't discount this niche. Go for it. You could actually still make some money here. What about low competition? Well, there's loads of established sellers, and there is a brand, Disney's offering it, even though, to be honest, that product isn't exactly crushing it, but still it's Disney, so it could become a competitor you need to worry about. So for that reason, I'm going to give competition a 6 out of 20. It's not really low competition. What about low hassle? Well, we can make it ourselves. It's a low hassle category. It's sports and outdoors. It is seasonal, kind of. You're not going to buy them in the summer. Maybe you will. I don't really know, actually. But I'd imagine winter is probably when it's more likely they're going to sell. And the dimensions are great. So I'm going to give this straight up 15 out of 20 for low hassle. What about gap in the marketplace? Well, there are issues with the gloves, particularly the bestseller. It's not warm enough, not waterproof. And there's no bundles in the whole niche. So if you can come along with a bundle, instantly you've added value. So actually for gap in the market, I'm going to give this a 17. So we've looked at the high demand, the low competition, the hassle, the gap. We've covered the radar now. And this is how you put the radar into practice, by looking at the data. So what about my hunch? What hunch do I get about this product? Well, obviously the demand is pretty rubbish. All right, it's good for me to actually analyze some products where the demand isn't so high, just so you can see what it looks like. But also, it doesn't mean there's no opportunity. It just means it's a different type of opportunity, right? £300 a month profit is really not bad. I mean, that's still money coming in, right? I've sold products that have had £300 a month profit, and they just sat there and sold for like years. So if you sell a product like this for, say, 4 years, £300 a month for 12 months for 4 years, I mean, it could make you like 14 grand. And if you have a bunch of products like that, well, then you've got a real business. So still is an opportunity, but it's just not the best opportunity in the world. What about the price point? Well, it's around £8, right? And if you come up with a bundle, you could probably charge more. You could probably charge £10, £15 if you offer enough value to the market and really position yourself as a premium brand. You can do that, but generally the price is a bit low. Again, the demand's not great, the competition's not great, but there is a gap in the marketplace. So there is something you could do to make this better. So for hunch, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 20. There's some opportunity, but there is also a lot of issues. So let's total this up and see what we got. 5 for demand, 6 for low competition, 15 for low hassle, 17 for gap, 9 for hunch. Gives us 52 out of 100. It's a pretty low score. Pretty low score. But here's the thing. By looking at products that aren't perfect, products that have quite big issues, hopefully I'm increasing your awareness of what we're looking for in a product on Amazon, and also what we're not looking for. All right. If every single product I analyze is amazing, then number one, you might get the delusion that I only look at great products, which is not true. I look at a lot of bad products. And it's knowing why a bad product is a bad product. And also understanding that just because it's a bad product, it doesn't mean there's no opportunity. It just means that I wouldn't spend, £5,000 on an import of stock for this. But if you could spend a few hundred and find a wholesaler who's got some gloves and create a little bundle, you could definitely make some cash here. And maybe a lot of Amazon sellers would skip this niche because they don't see the opportunity, whereas you do. So, hope you found that helpful. So, if you want more videos like this, make sure you subscribe. I do loads of niche spotlight videos. We look at niches on Amazon. And if you want some help to launch your product, and you want me to find you a product that has a really high score and has a very high likelihood of making lots of profit every month, then book in an Amazon Accelerator call with me. What we'll do first is we'll talk about your goals and get really clear on the type of life you want to build, the type of business you want to build, where you want to live, how much you want to earn, all that stuff. Once we're clear on your goals, we'll talk about where you're starting from. So try and figure out where you are now, how much experience you have, what budget you have, how things are in your life right now, what's good about your life, what's bad about your life. And when we know these 2 points, the goal and the starting point, then together we can figure out what steps do we need to take to get you from the starting point to the goal. Right? And when we're clear on that, we can figure out together a clear plan to get there. And if you want some help from me, I can actually help you research a product, help you import it from China, get it into Amazon for you. I can help you create the listing, and we can build the entire business. So if you want to get started, click the link in the description, book in your free Amazon Accelerator call, and we'll catch up very soon.